Why, I tell you what, we're live. We're alive from the Philippines. 6 p.m. here on Friday evening. Welcome in, welcome in. 9 million people in the house so far. I know why you're here. You're here to win some GCASH. Yes, indeed. We're going to be drawn pretty soon. We're going to do an early bird draw tonight, which means at any second now, we're going to be drawing for the first winner of 333 in GCASH pesos. Yes, indeed. The piggy can wait. The piggy's been well fed this week. Charmaine is here. Anime Reyes is in the house. Viana Cañas is here. All waiting to win. All waiting for a chance to win. Phil John, Kim Austria, Jalen Ferrarisas is in the house. Nicole Far, Des Channel, Thinks is here. Methinks is here. Ramir Balange is live from British Columbia. Where are you anyway, Ramir? You're somewhere not here, right? Melanie Calapayan is in the house from Caridad. A lovely, lovely barangay. Yes, indeed. And many more here, I guess. 12 million people are here. Yeah, the folks are going to miss out. Oh, Rodell's here. Jean Avery in the house. Sweet and spicy. And all that yummy goodness is here. RD Vlog, thanks for stopping by. 11 million people we're going to be drawing right now. Mini Snow, what do you know? Hey, so what I've done is I have vetted out this light bulb. Wouldn't that be cool if I could make this turn on? Anyway, there's 35 in here, right? And so we're going to be guessing a number between 1 and 35. Who's here? Mike Married is in the house. That's nice. So let's get started. Let's draw. Okay, for 333. 11 million people in the house. Let's go for the first win. A number between 1 and 35. The rules are simple. Everybody is eligible to win. And how you win is just put a number in there between 1 and 35, and I shall do the rest. I'll do all the heavy lifting over here. So all 11 million people in the house, when you see start show up in the chat next to our channel name, start guessing a number between 1 and 35 as soon as you see that appear. Pita. Do I win a free Filipina? That sounds nice. Maybe that could be arranged. Nay, Faith is here. 12 million people are guessing. Only one person, one guess, a number between 1 and 35. All right. Get the guesses in because I'm going to put in the stop command. We're going fast today. We're going really fast. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop guessing. Anna G is here. Anna G, how you be? Madeline Reyes is here. All my friends are here. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Thanks for stopping by. All right. So now all the guesses are in. Let's see if we have a winner. You know how this works. So the first one to guess the number I'm pulling out of the light bulb. That sounds kind of odd, doesn't it? Hopefully we'll have a winner on this first round. If not, the whole early bird thing doesn't work too well, you know. I wanted one of the early birds to win today. Madeline Reyes, guess number 34. Did you get it in on time? You guys are going to tell me the winner. All right. I have a bingo ball sliding out of the neck of this light bulb here. Oh, ooh, 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 ooh. The winning number is 18 to start the wins off. 18. Number 18. Do we have a winner at number 18? So let me see. Number 18, the first draw. I will wait to see if we have a winner. South Texan Jerry is here. Congratulations to who? Who won? I missed it. I wasn't looking at my phone. Who won? Moelma won. Congratulations. You're number 3 fan, Moelma. Congratulations, Moelma. Now, you know what? Since you already won today, we're retiring you and the number 18 so you can go off and make, what is it that you're making tonight? Are you making chicken fried rice? Are you making sushis tonight? Are you making, I don't know, pigs in a blanket? Oink, oink, a little pig joke there. Well, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be a mighty tasty meal. All right, where's the piggy down here? Because we have to stuff this piggy now. That's our second chore. Stuff the piggy. I think that worked out nicely. You know, all the dedicated members were in here early. Yeah, everybody was here early. We did the first round. Early bird catches the worm. And then we have the early bird winner, Moelma. Don't worry. Don't worry. If you missed out and you're joining us late, we have two more prizes of 333 to give away. All right, let's see where the pig is. All right, I have to manipulate. I know it doesn't sound right to say this. I have to manipulate both the pig. Let me set aside the light bulb. All right, there's the piggy. This makes it easier for me to hold. I don't have to lift him up at all, right? And then you could see the little piggy slot up there. Oh, that sounds disgusting, doesn't it? A little piggy slot. Charam is here. Yenarina's here. We already have the first winner. It's the early bird winner, Moelma. Congratulations again. Fel John was here. Fel John was here early. You should have won, Fel John. Not trying to take anything away from Moelma. But anyway, okay, let's see. Let's see what we got here. It's time to put money inside this bad boy. Let's see. We got JC Vlog has arrived. Okay, I think I'm just throwing it in there, right? Because you're supposed to be guessing how much is in there. I don't want to give too much away, right? But here we're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of a. You could go ahead and skip the ads while we're rolling along here for the purpose of seeing how much money is going inside the piggy. So anyway, here we got a green one. I don't know what they're worth. I don't handle the money. I don't know how much a green one is or a pink one is. But anyway, we're gonna stuff that in the pig. 16 million people here. We got two more chances to win. All right, and we got I don't know what this one is, a purple one. Purple's a nice color. We'll throw that in there. What else do we have? Oh, we got one of these coins, my favorite coins. I don't know how much these are worth either. We'll put one of those in there. We got one of these old 5 peso coins. I recognize those. They're antiquish looking. And I got a whole bunch of probably 10s and 1s. And let me grab the ones. I think we put quite a bit of money inside the piggy so far. I think this is a big week. Maybe I was a little bit light coming up with funds last week, and so I set aside some extra money here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or it could be because someone called me stingy with my money this week. So anyway, here's a new style 5 peso coin. And a couple of these. Really, the size confuses me. I don't really know the denomination of these. But anyway, it's a guessing game. So anyway, that's it for stuffing the pig. A couple of weeks before Christmas, we're going to stuff it with even more money. Oy. And will give you all the instructions on your chance to win, how you get the information to me of what your guess is, and I will have all that information available 2 weeks before Christmas. You know, we're in the burr months, and it's weird for us folks that live here in the Philippines that are from the States, because we don't really start celebrating Christmas maybe late November. All the Christmas decorations go up and the music starts to play and the carolers start showing up at your door. But heck, it's all starting to happen now, you know. I'm listening to Dean Martin and Bing Crosby sing White Christmas, you know. It's kind of interesting. The Christmas decorations are going up all over the place. Mom She Dang is here, especially at the Prince Mall. You guys know the Prince Mall, right? There's probably a Prince Mall in just about every province, every city. Wherever you live, there's probably a Prince Mall. Oi, what was I going to share with you? The guys are working fine on the house. They're going gangbusters. I got a good crew. Right now we got 5 men. We had 5 men today. And they dug 3 holes. So tomorrow they're going to be planting 3 towers, 3 columns, and the footings. All that metal they're going to be concreting into the ground. And then we'll only have 2 more to go. And then we start working on the tie beams, you know, the tie beams that connect them together so they don't fall apart. So if many of you know, or maybe you don't know, we decided that, you know, we were going to go switch the whole thing up and we're going to go with a hollow block building. But we're also going to be using insulation panels on the outside, because it drives me crazy when they're doing the finishing work, you know, the finishing concrete work, the stucco. What do you call it here? Where you use the concrete, the finishing sand, you mix, and then the mason stands there and goes like this, dushk, 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 and they're smoking a cigarette. They're smoking a cigarette, and then they got their little trowels and stuff, and they're going like this, dishk, 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 and it slaps against the wall. I don't know how many coats of that stuff they put on the walls. We're dispensing with all that. We're not going to do that. Once the hollow block is up, we're going to seal it with the recommended concrete sealer, both on the inside and the outside, just for good measure, so that it waterproofs it. And then we're going to take the insulation boards, the finished ones. I don't like doing a whole lot of work, folks. So we're going to take the insulation boards and we're going to put those on the exterior of the hollow block walls. I haven't decided what I'm doing on the inside because I haven't decided. On the inside, the dividing walls are going to be HardieFlex. So because we're using them as dividing walls, HardieFlex, we'll use the thin stuff, the really cheap stuff. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on metal frames, metal studs, and HardieFlex, but we'll use the thinnest that we could possibly find. But anyway, I shared this story, and it gets even more frustrating as it goes along, because in order to save some money, here's how we came to this conclusion we were going to do it this way. Are you going to put vapor barrier? Yes, we are. We're going to put vapor barrier, definitely. Mike, I had this conversation just a few hours ago with Mike Buenavista Dreaming. Yeah, and so we discussed this. And even though Filipinos, they're going to be shaking their head most likely, going, hey, what are you doing that for? Why are you putting a vapor barrier down there? We're going to do it. You know, we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. So what a vapor barrier is, it's plastic, thick plastic. And what it does is keeps the moisture from absorbing into the concrete from the bottom. It'll minimize the moisture coming up from the ground, and probably will save you from getting radon poisoning if there's any of that stuff hanging around. Do you guys know what radon gas is? Never mind. It's the reason why Larice is here. It's the reason why some people get cancer, lung cancer, and they've never smoked one single day in their lives. Have you ever had a family member who they're shocked because they all of a sudden they start having problems and they're fatigued, they don't feel well, and eventually they start having breathing issues, respiratory issues. They go to the doctor and then they discover that they have lung cancer and they never smoked a single day in their life. And that most likely is because radon gas, some kind of way, got trapped underneath the building of their homes. See, the radon gas is poison. And if you suck enough of that stuff in without figuring out a way to mitigate it, to get rid of it, then you end up getting lung cancer a few years down the road. And you never really figure out that it's the house that got you sick. That's the construction guys from India down in the Philippines. They scratch their head. But those guys do a really good job, though. I've been watching. I've been getting a lot of tricks by watching those Indian construction guys. They're genius. They can find a workaround for every problem. You give them a problem, they will find a solution for it, right? So anyway, we'll be using a vapor barrier without going into any more detail about that because actually it's kind of boring. So Dan, I'm curious of your background. Why? Oh, because somebody said one time, Dan, what are you doing? You're live stream from the toilet? And so I was in Divvy Mart. You know Divvy Mart in the Bye Bye Central Mall there, Des? So where the bargain store, you know, the place that sells all the useless Chinese junk that a lot of people like so that they could use once and throw it away. Irene and Irish is here. Hey, how are you? So I went in there and this was like $5 or something. They have all these signs, exit, toilet. And then I saw it and I chuckled because I remember somebody saying, Dan, what are you doing? It looks like you're in the toilet and the shower curtain is behind you. So now I just tell everybody, yeah, I do it live from the toilet because I got no other place in the house that I could do it. That's why you're seeing the toilet sign. But I'm also thinking about adding an exit sign. Wouldn't that be kind of cool to add an exit sign? And that way with an arrow that shows you where to go. It shows you where to go. Now that would be hella funny. Oh my God, I'm having too good a time. Well, anyway, why am I telling you this, that I'm using number 6s? We were going to use number 4s. And then I put into chat GPT, should I be using number 4s and 6s, you know? And it came back that for this size house, 90 square meter, I should be using number 6s. And so now that makes it more expensive. So the retail price, Des, Melanie, what's the retail price around here for number 6 hollow block? I believe right now it's going somewhere between 22 and 24 pesos per block, which is a lot of money. So what I decided to do, or I want to do, but I don't know if I'm going to be successful or not getting it done. We decided that we want to build our own hollow block. So I went looking around for the molders, they call it. Maris is here. Good evening. Hi, Maris. We call them molds in the state, but they call them molders here. Here in our place, for Dan, it's 17 pesos per piece. For number 6, for 16, for number 6 hollow block, Mel, are you sure that's not for number 4? Des, are you sure that's not for number 4? Well, you're both in Caridad, so why are you giving me different numbers? Mike says less than 50 cents per block, Dan. Yeah, which is way too much money because I need 1,500 of them. So do the math, 1,500. So then I started costing it out. How much does it, with labor, material, to build a really strong one? To build a really strong one, how much would it cost me? And I got the price of 9 cents per hollow block. And I would rather pay 9 cents for a hollow block than 17 to 22. Let's see, because not only one person selling here hollow blocks, they are 3 persons. Okay, so they're competing with each other. But see, here's the problem with buying them, right? What you can't stand there when they compete on price. Generally speaking, the hollow blocks are made to order, which means if I go in there and say, hey, I need 1,500, no problem, sir. Give us half money up front. And then when you come pick them up or we deliver them, you pay the other half, right? So here's what happens, right? So what do? The low bidder, they kind of like make a hollow block that isn't as strong as you'd like it to be, right? Because they were the low bidder and they competed for price. So they have to cut a little bit of corner, right? They have to not put in so much Portland cement. If they were getting 60 per bag of cement, now they're going to get 120 per bag per cement. So I can't do it that way. That makes me have to build them, right? Because then I control what the hollow blocks are made out of and how strong they are. And so, but now here's where they got me. I can't find the molds. I cannot find anyone who has the molds so that we could start making these. So we threw a few ideas. We found 2, but they wanted crazy money for them. Hollow blocks is not just the size, right? Right. It's better to buy hollow block maker. It's worth 45 to 5K range. Well, here you go. We found 2 of them. They wanted 4,500 pesos for each one. The problem with that, Des, the problem is that they're not worth 4,500. That I could probably get them if I go over to Cebu and I shop around. I could probably get the molder for something like 2K, somewhere around 2K per molder. Des, are you saying it's really worth 4,500? Is that what you're telling me? Because I saw them for sale over in Cebu in a hardware store online, but this is online, right? And I don't trust Facebook Marketplace. Claire is here. Rona Cease is here. How are you guys? Helium is here. Helium. It's online, Sir Dan. I saw the price. Okay, so I called them and I had a conversation. We're happy. We're happy to ship them over to you. No, it's okay. I'll get on the fast ferry. I will come over and pick them up. Their price was $19.50. Oh, no. We don't do that. We have to send them to your place COD, right? COD. And you have to pay half in advance. And so I said, no, I don't do that. I'll just come over. I'll come over to Cebu and I'll come to your place and I'll pick them up, right? No. You can't do that, sir. We won't do that. All right, come on, you guys. Come on. It's not my first rodeo here in the Philippines. I knew what they were going to plan on doing. You know what they were going to do is they were going to backload the delivery. So what they're going to do is they're going to add. So they'll say, all right, 2,000 for the, for each piece, right? And then they were going to jam you with 2,000 shipping on each one. So when it shows up to your place, you end up paying the 4,000 or 4,500. Why would I do that? Because they're not that hard to make. Because you can make them out of 3/4 inch hardwood. You could make them out of 3/4 inch marine wood. So, which would cost me $20 per box, per molder. So what I know it would be made out of wood. And so you have to use hardwood. But why would I go over and fall for that trick? And we found the ones for 45 at the local hardware store here in Bye Bye. And I just told them to, no, but I can't buy them unless I'm actually standing there watching them make it. 1,500 of them. And they won't allow you to do that, Mike. No one will. And the reason is because, quite frankly, they cheat. I'm just being honest with you. They cheat. They're going to thin that mix out. Somebody in here tell me that I'm wrong about this. I dare you. Because you know I'm right. You people that have had experience with this, you know that I'm right. They'll lowball the price to get the deal because 1,500, that's a lot of hollow block number sixes. And as soon as you turn around and you walk away, right? Here's what they're doing. Here's what they're doing. They're changing the formula of the mix. Come on, you guys. I can't do it that way. I have to build them myself. I'm just like that. And we're going to have to find these molders pretty soon because we're ready to go just about. I don't want these guys to have any downtime. I just want them to keep working, working, working. Right now, we have them doing maintenance around this house so that they have no downtime. They only have, I mean, the hardest part really is what they're doing now. I mean, this is the most difficult part of the entire build, believe it or not. And that is digging down to the bedrock so that they go deep enough to plant these columns. And so the engineer was even here to verify that they're deep enough and everything is set up the right way. There were one or two adjustments that had to be made that have already been taken care of. Jojo, how are you? But they're all handled. You know, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't anything that was going to cost time nor money in order to fix. Let's see. He would work for you. His blocks. Yeah, but everybody says that, Mike, until you say, I'm going to be standing there to watch you mix it. And the next thing you know, you've got no deal. Oh, that's okay. We don't need your business, sir. It's happened like 2 or 3 times already, Mike. This is how I know. A good friend will not talk to us anymore because I said, okay, we're gonna put a man there and he's going to be watching you make the hollow block. Oh, sir, it's okay. We don't I don't have time to make them for you anyway. I'm so busy. See what I mean? As soon as I say that, I'm putting a man there. All he's going to do is observe the manufacturing of the blocks. You know, that's all. And the next thing you know, oh, sorry, sir. It's okay. Somebody else can do it for you. One guy won't even talk to us anymore. Our supplier for this house, he will not even talk to us anymore. All right. Well, anyway, so I know I got to build them, right? And they are not that hard to do. Yeah, but well, you ask him, is he close by, and will he allow me to have one of my men stand by and watch him make them? That's the question, Mike. And the answer is going to be hell no. It's going to be no and hell no. But he probably isn't anywhere near us that would do me any good. So anyway, now as Des and Melanie know, there is a guy who fabricates those that is close by. We don't know exactly where his shop is, right? It's not here in Bye City, but it's the guy in Inokapan. How do you say it, Mel? Inokapan? I always mispronounce it. I have to go real slow. Inokapan, something like that. The next town over. We could go to Cebu, but I've made several phone calls and I'll say, nope, we only COD. We only COD. You know, as soon as they start talking like that, we only COD. I said, but I'm right here in Cebu. I'm right next door to you. I could come over and pick them up. They go like this. No, sir, we don't allow. We don't allow. And then I go, should I be telling everybody that you're scamming people? And then click on the phone goes silent. Inopacan. Inopacan. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Des. Inopacan. I can't say that word. Inopacan. Inopacan. I'll practice it. That's where we're going. Once these guys get here tomorrow, we get them set up for the day. We'll be headed to Inokapan to see if we could track this dude down that fabricates these. They say we'll be able to find him. You know, but if they spew that 4,500 per unit out, why would I buy it? when the hardware store in town had those antiques off the shelf. I'll tell you what, if they do that 4,500 per unit thing on me, I'm just going to make them out of hardwood. I'm just going to do it myself out of hardwood. I could buy all the equipment that I need, tabletop saw, all the stuff that I need in order to make a couple of molds. I could buy from City Hardware and still have plenty of money left over to take Mel and Des on a vacation. That's how much money I could save by making them myself out of hardwood, if it comes down to that. But we have to make a decision soon. So we're going to go look for this dude. And if we can't find that person or find a couple of these on the shelf somewhere, because if there's someone fabricating, there most likely is somebody fabricating for a retail shop that we could find a pair of these, right? So anyway, 2 for 9,000 pesos. Des, would you buy 2 or 1? How many can you crank out per day if I had to suck it up and only buy 1? How many do you think that one person can crank out per day? That's the question. Because if it's enough, because I figure we got 2 weeks before. We got 2 weeks. Why can't you make the walls poured? I'll tell you why. We can't pour the walls because it's double money. When we costed it out, it's very expensive, and I didn't think it would be. And the reason is because of the rebar that you have to put in there. That's the reason. You're using way more rebar, metal supports inside there. And that's the reason why we can't do it that way. So I can't say that I'm disappointed. I'm not really, because I don't want to go upstream. I'm done doing that. We have to do it the Filipino way, the way that they know how to do it, because that's how things get done quicker. And your supervision is how it gets done correctly. So that's pretty much what the plan is. I would have loved to pour them and not build hollow block. We talked about it. We talked about it for days. And then when we started putting the math to it, it can't be done. I'll tell you why. I'll give you that specific reason. Because here in this area, the house that we're building, it only rents for, you can only get a maximum amount of money for rent for any house, brand new, older, for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, brand new. The most that you can get out of it is about $325 a month American. That's 15 or 16,000 pesos per month. So when you start figuring out the ROI, that's return on investment, ROI, you can't get the 10% return that you need out of the building of the house unless we keep this house underneath that $35,000 or $40,000 budget, American money. So you see, Mike, that's where we're at. So it makes good sense, right? If you think about it. Lorraine is here, Lorraine Pajadas. So we have to cut money, and we got to be careful what we got to be careful on the money part of it. So that means that once I started doing the math, I determined it would be 1.5 or 2 times. Yeah, but they want 4,000 pesos per square meter. It doesn't math out. It doesn't math out. I guess I'm wrong looking at the price. Haha, I just checked Lazada, worth 1K to 2K. Yeah, 1 to 2K. That's what I'm saying. And so we ought to be able to find those things, or maybe I'll just have to order them from Lazada and wait for them to show up. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm leaning towards making them out of marine wood, because this is the way we used to do it in the olden days, or mahogany. We used to make them in the olden days. This is how we made cinder block at the house when I was a kid growing up. Papa would say, okay, here are the molds, crank out some cinder block for me. And the kids, we didn't know what the hell we were doing. Mix a bucket of that with so much water and sand and gravel, and you get this mix and you throw it in the mold. And the molds were made of wood. They weren't made of steel. You know what I mean? They weren't made of steel. And so I know that we can do it the same way because I did it as a kid. So that's how we're going to do it. We're going to defeat it. Listen, there is no problem that cannot be overcome. If you ordered weeks ago, you would have them already. Yeah. But I'm going to make them now, and I'm going to have them right when I need them. Right when I need to use them, I'm going to have them. So it'll work out perfectly. I'm very seldom disappointed. In fact, I haven't run into any problems on this build site where we weren't able to find the workaround almost right away without having to do hardly any adjustments for it. Just call the engineer and say, oh, we ran into this problem. The engineer says, I'll be right over. He comes over and he says, okay. Gets a piece of paper out. Everything can stay where it's at. Add one lag column here. Problem solved. See you guys later. Bye. Have fun. See? Life is grand. All right. I have more stuff to share, but it's boring, just like this is. Let's go. Let's go for the next one. The next 333. All right. We had one winner, Mawelma, that won 333. She guessed or put up there the number 18. So 18 is out of play. Mawelma's out of play. Now, you folks know the rules. The rules are you must choose a number between 1 and 35, but not 18. 18's already been selected. You only get one guess. 29 million people in the house. That means 29 guesses. Do not cheat because you'll be caught. Nobody in here cheats anyway. They'll send me an email. You'll get a lump of coal at Christmas time in your Christmas stocking. When you see start appear in the chat next to our channel name, you may start guessing a number between 1 and 35. But remember, do not choose number 18 because it's already been selected. Let me see what I got to do next. I think I just have to wait for you guys to guess a number. 32 million people in the house. Good luck to all of you. Irene and Irish guessed number 19. So did Mom Sheet. Dang, how did that happen? Whoa. Jojo, lucky number 7. And RD Vlogs chose 24. Okay. Looks like you guys have your guesses in. Now I'm entering the stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So whenever that shows up, the guessing part has stopped. Because it says so right there, stop. Okay. Let me see what we got. 18 was a good number, right? Why do you guys all guess the same number every week? That's what I'd like to know. It's a conspiracy. Oh, Mike, before I take a look to see what number I drew, I want to talk about, so what I was talking about on the other live stream that I did a couple of days ago, you look up the Genius Act that was signed into law by President Trump. And that will explain the whole cryptocurrency thing and what's going on. I might talk about one or two things about that, but not in too much detail because it's very boring for most people. Oh, damn. The winning number is 5. Number 5 is the winning number this time around. Okay, number 5. Do we have a winner? Do we have a winner with number 5? Shaney, Melanie. What? Mel. You mean Melanie Calapayan won? Is that the only Mel in the house? Is Melanie Calapayan from Caridad? Congratulations, Mel. You won 333 pesos. That was quick and easy, right? We are 40 minutes into this live. I can't help it. Let me just go over this thing real quick, right? The Genius Act, it's going to impact the Philippines. I think I said that on the last vlog that we did, right? In that it creates a stable coin cryptocurrency. Now, they're backed by the American dollar, which is fiat money. It's $1 equals one coin. Very, very simple to understand. One GCASH dollar equals one peso. One crypto coin equals $1. $1 equals one crypto coin. That's how this thing is set up to work. The reason why the BRICS nations are pissed about this is Russia, China, I think India is part of it, and a few other countries. The reason why they're all mad is because they were coming in with a commodity-based crypto coin to compete. And it blows them out of the water because it basically means that the greenback or the American dollar cannot be unseated because people will have to continue trading using the US dollar in the form of stable coin or crypto coin. Now, what I didn't understand on the live stream last time that I understand now, Rona, is that they aren't federal government owned coins. They aren't. They are private business. Now the whole thing starts to make sense to me. They're private. You know how Trump started his own crypto coin company? Well, if you could only buy with US dollars, right? Then, and the US dollar remains the reserve currency, then everybody gets richer, basically. Not me. I just use it to transfer money and to pay bills. Nothing really changes except that the rich become richer under this scheme, right? But there's a devious suggestion, a devious plot afoot. How are you, Maria? Gracia. Maria Gracia. Or is it Maria? Is it Maria or Maria? Maria. Gracia. Good evening. So this evil plot that's afoot that might be the reason why they're doing this is that if the cryptocurrency is backed by the US dollar, which is fiat money, it's in God we trust and all that, then that means that they can move $37 trillion of US debt into cryptocurrency and make it disappear in the blockchain. Because once it's in there, they can devalue it, right? Or they won't say devalue it, but they'll say we're going to reevaluate it, and they're going to assign a different value to it, which is basically devaluing it. Now, on the other hand, if you have gold, if gold is involved, they're going to reevaluate and raise the price of an ounce of gold. And why are they doing that? Because the banks right now, they're storing gold like crazy. And so they're in debt too. And so in order to get the buy-in on this whole plan, my thought is that, oh yeah, let's buy off the banks. Let's tell them that we're going to have an evil plot where if they go and they buy gold, right, we will revalue that gold by $1,000 per ounce more. And if they do that, it'll get everybody, it'll get everybody out of the hole, their debt can be retired. Menge, well, this is a theory that I don't necessarily believe in, but it's one that is being thrown around and postulated, especially by the vendors that want to sell you gold. So they'll tell you this story, right? But you're not seeing this story anywhere else. You're seeing it in the vendors But this is a real legal maneuver, and it's called the Genius Act because Ronald Fuentes, Trump fancies himself as a genius, and so it's called the Genius Act. But of course, he had very, very little to do with coming up with the idea. This was his head of the Treasury that came up with this scheme. It's as good of an idea as any. What's our other option? Our other option, Girly Senna, is Girly Cena is bankruptcy. You know, that's the other option. And if the United States goes bankrupt, then so does everybody else. So I don't know why everybody's getting their panties all up in a bunch over this idea. Menge is here. You know, I don't know why they are. It sounds great to me. Of course, I'm inherently evil. I like evil. I like evil plots with twists. So that's what I think is going on. So now I have friends that are telling me, oh, no, Dan, you know, blah, 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 blah. You're all wrong. You're all wrong, Dan. They like saying that. And then whenever it turns out that I'm right, I never hear from them. Nobody ever comes to me and say, "Oh, Dan, you were right." No one does. They only like to say you're wrong. But when I hit a home run an idea, I never hear from them. Right? Well, his companies have, and that's a beautiful thing. I've gone bankrupt in some companies that I've owned at least half a dozen times, Mike. I don't think it makes me an evil person. It just makes me, in some cases, a very smart businessman. Anyway, it's the way the real world works. You know, have I told you guys I was that close to becoming very, very wealthy at one point in my life? Most of us, we do have an opportunity, you know, at least once in a lifetime. And when you think about it, you'll go, "Oh man, you know, I should have done this or I should have done that." For example, I remember my dad could have been rich too. So, I mean, they're doing okay. My family's doing okay, but quite frankly, let's see, remember when it was illegal to own gold? And then once they made it legal to own it again, it started at $35 an ounce. So that was the spot price of gold. So I went to my papa, I went to my father. He reminded me, by the way, he reminded me that he said, "Dang, I should have listened to you." Because what I did was when I was a teenager and this all happened, it was Nixon, I think. I think Nixon is the one who you know, they did all the Federal Reserve smoke and mirror stuff and took us off the gold standard. But later on, when they allowed us to buy, they devalued it and they allowed us to buy gold again. Devalued, that's the word I was looking for earlier. Once they devalued it and they reintroduced it so you could buy it retail, meaning that you and I can buy it, it came back at $35 an ounce. I went to my dad and I said, "You need to buy hella gold, Papa. You need to sell everything that you own that isn't tied down, and you need to buy gold." And so shortly before his death, he reminded me of that. He said, "I never forgot that. I never forgot that." He said, "I wanted to let you know that I should have listened to you and I should have bought the gold, you know." So would I give you that idea or suggestion now that you should buy gold? You know what? I'm not a gold or commodity sort of guy. I'm just not. You know, it just doesn't none of that stuff like the stock market and the buying of precious metals interest me that much, that except for silver. For some reason, uh, silver makes more sense to me than gold. And the reason why silver does is because you need it in industrial manufacturing. That's why silver was the way to go for me. So anyway, that's the name of that tune, and that's pretty much the end of that story. So we'll have to see what happens. The world is changing, and I had mentioned that the Philippines is the training ground for cryptocurrency. I believe it with all my heart. You are actually the training ground because you do so many electronic transactions in GCash. Look at how used, you know what? Look at how used to using GCash that we all are. I mean, this is a GCash contest. I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. How difficult would it be for them to say, okay, now it's GCash cryptocurrency? If you look online, I'm sure you get the same messages, Anime, that I get. You know, oh, we started a cryptocurrency exchange over here at GCash. Would you like to buy some crypto? You can now buy crypto coin. You can now buy gold. You can now buy silver. You guys get the same messages that I do. And I got to tell you, I love it. I love the whole idea. No, no, no. There's no GCash in the States, but it is going to be expanding. You know, they're already using GCash in Thailand, for example. I can't remember how many countries they're using GCash in. But for example, here in the States, you can use PayPal and GCash. Well, most of you folks know that, right? Because you use it. Just once in a while, I'll send something to you, and I'll use my PayPal account, and then you'll convert it over to GCash. And so it's smooth as silk. Ronaldin Fuentes, it's smooth as silk. It's a seamless transaction. And once they get this cryptocurrency going, it'll be a seamless transaction to move money from the United States to the Philippines in the form of cryptocurrency. And so, you guys, it'll be a seamless transaction for you youngsters out there. It won't be so easy for us old folks to figure it out. But it should be seamless because you already have GCash. And one day they'll say, we have converted your GCash account over to cryptocurrency, and now you could go to the store and use your GCash as always the same way. See? It's seamless. It's seamless. You know, you don't even have to think about it. You just do it. See? You won't even change the name. It'll be GCash Crypto. You know, you won't even change the name. You're just taking your phone. You'll be taking your phone and you'll be going over to a shop at SM, and you'll be using your GCash e-wallet just like you always do. So it's no big whoop, except that I know that people are getting stinking rich over this thing. You know, a lot of people say this is about having control over your finances and also your movement. You know, they want to know where you are. Well, if you leave an electronic signature, of course they're going to know where you are. Dan, do you think that people want to be rich quick and get caught up in these schemes on only? Let me see. And only first make money. It's almost like a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, that's exactly the way that I see it. But nobody's perfect, Mike. You know. No, I'm not getting any younger. You know what I mean? So I kind of like it, you know, because I'm inherently evil. I mean, even though I know it's an evil plot with many, many twists, I actually like it. I cannot lie. I've got to tell you the truth, you know? And because I like it, I'll probably learn a lot more about it that I'll be able to share with you. But it can be boring, but it won't after a while, right? Yes, Dan, let's see. GCash has expanded internationally through GCash overseas, allowing Filipinos to register with an international SIM card. Oh, I like hearing this, Anna G. I really do. I had no idea. You're the first person to let me know this was going on. I really, truly appreciate you for letting me know. So now, first thing tomorrow morning, I'll be doing is getting all the information on that. I think it's a fantastic idea, you know. Yeah, except there won't be any more banks. There, you know, because they're Mike, they're eliminating banks. I don't know if you've heard this before. me having to tell you, but they're basically eliminating banks. That's the whole idea. The banks will exist, but the banks will exist in the virtual world. And that's basically what's going on. Already, I'm being bombarded by my bank saying, Dan, we really would like you to consider doing the biometrics. Well, of course they're being nice. We want to take pictures of your pupils, your dilated pupils. We want to take pictures of your fingerprints. We want pictures of your face so we could do facial recognition. They're already bugging the crap out of me. Sooner or later, they will say, okay, now it's mandatory by law. We tried to get you to do it voluntarily, and now you're forced to do it by law. And then I'll have to run down to the bank or fire up my phone. You have 10 days to do it or 30 days to do it. Give us your fingerprint, give us your picture, give your passport number. You have to do all this stuff, right? I've already had to do it for one account. I can't remember which one it was. They forced me to do it. They said they would otherwise close it. That's their threat. No, it's not law, Dan, but unless you do this, we're not going to do business with you anymore. And they certainly can decide who they want to do business with. And it was important enough to me to comply so that I can maintain the benefits, that I have with that particular organization. Anyway, it's a brave new world, and I like it. And so I don't know what to say except that I like it for some reason. All right. Are you guys ready? It is what? 57 minutes in, and it's time to do the last it's time to do the last try at getting the 333. I can send money to GCASH through yeah, that's right. Well, oh boy. I wish we had time. I would explain things that had happened to me recently. I tried about 3 or 4 different ways to transfer money, and I got screwed 3 or 4 different ways. The way that I look at it, it's living here, and then transferring money. It's the cost of doing business. People will say, well, I could transfer through Wells Fargo and they only charge me 99 cents. And the money gets here and you're getting a rate of like 53 to 1, 52.75. Oh, but it only cost you 99 cents, In Canada, we have online banks, no lines, just online lines, just online. I got you. That's the way that the whole world is going to. So I probably will open up an account soon. Oh, you're doing your follow-up. Good luck, Ronaldin. Good luck. Good luck to you. Let us know how it goes. Let me know how it goes. So anyway, I'm going to try it and I'll share it with you. I'm going to open a virtual online bank that has no brick and mortar stores whatsoever. I'm going to be trying that soon. I don't want to give the whole thing away, and then I'll do a video on it. And it'll be specific to the Philippines. It'll be, a Philippine, bank, virtual bank, and we'll see how it goes. Last September, my surgery, man, there's a lot of surgeries going around. I'll tell you that. A lot of people are having, scheduled surgeries. I'm telling you, it's a phenomenon that like I have never seen before. So you got, let's see, how many gallbladders last month? Oh, geez, how many of my friends had gallbladder surgery? It's a phenomenon I just don't understand it, I just don't understand it. 3 last month that had gallbladder surgery. I mean, major surgery where they remove the gallbladder, not robotic. Where do you get robotic here in the Philippines for a price that you can afford? You can't. You have to go to Manila. You have to go to St. Luke's. If you get surgery here, they're going to cut you, and it's going to take you a month or 2 months to recover. So my best to all those of you that have to recover from a major surgery. it is not easy. And I'll tell you what, I've been thinking a lot about, oh, geez, it would be nice to get through this life without having to go under the knife. You know what I mean? I don't know if I could survive going under the knife at 68 years old. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I would make it out of there. All right, last one. What do we have? A commercial? Skip it. Skip it. All right, let's go. A number between 1 and 35. Selected so far has been number 18 and number 5. So number 18 and number 5 have already picked. They're not in this round. So it's a number between 1 and 35, but not number 18 and definitely not number 5. So when you see start in the chat, you may pick a number between 1 and 35. This is the last chance. This is round 3, the last chance to win some money. 333 pesos to be exact. One person, one guess. Thank you very much. All right. It looks like all the guesses are in. Get them in because I'm going to enter the stop command in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The brakes have been put on the guesses. Stop. Have you guys, by the way, been going over to Man Minnie's page and then seeing that she's doing live streams on the construction site? She does a really good job. She does a way better job than I do on YouTube. Lainey is here. Hi, Lainey. Happy birthday. It's your birthday, right? Lainey is here. All right. What? Oh, it's my turn. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's my turn to get the number out of the bottle. I got to get the genie out of the bottle. I got one. Let's see what it is. Oh, no, say not so. Is it so? 32. It's number 32. Doesn't one of you pick number 32 all the time? Oh, my goodness gracious. Number 32. Do we have a winner? Helium. Oh, geez, it's got to be Helium. Helium stopping by to pick up your paycheck. No, it's all good. It's all good. A winner is a winner. I knew you were in there. I knew you were in there for that number 32. Folks, it's been a blast. Make sure you send me, I'll look it up, but make sure you send me your GCASH number and I will send this money out ASAP. Thanks everybody for showing up and putting up with me. Congratulations to all the winners. Let me see if I can find Man Minnie, the supervisor on the construction site. Man Minnie, are you here? Man Minnie, are you here? We might go out for barbecue. I know she's going to ask me. Are we going out for barbecue tonight? It's Friday night in the Philippines. Come on over and say hi to the folks and bye to the folks.
Oh, man, it's raining.
It's raining. Oh, how come it rains every Friday night?
Hi, everybody.
Hello. Right here. Right here.
I was looking there.
Look, Helium on again.
Hi,
Minnie Snow's
guys.
here.
Hi, Minnie.
Mangay's in the house.
Mindy?
Melanie won tonight too.
Oh,
So did Moelma.
for the winner.
Lorraine
Hi.
Pajadas is here. Larice
Hi,
in the house.
Lorraine.
Larice Jose, she cracks me up. All right, folks. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Have a great week.
Have a good night.
Have a great weekend. Otherwise, bye-bye. We're out.